So check this out. I figured I'd make a quick video about this whole napkins, glue, paint, and jute grass comes together. I love how accessible these basic materials are. Cheap white school glue, a bit of tan craft paint, and some napkins. I like the way this process allows me to quickly establish a basic scene and then edit down towards something that starts to look familiar as its true form is revealed by that kind of subtractive editing process. My layout is built using a series of scenic sections, if you will, not modules in the traditional sense, but that means I have a lot of these kinds of informal seams. This morning, I wanted to take some time and start to fill in some of those scenes, hide some of those gaps. I figured I'd bring you along for the ride, and maybe this would help illustrate how this comes together. Small piece of a napkin, not really using a lot of force here to guide it into place, just enough to kind of key it into the adjacent foam blocks. I had a bottle of thin white glue that I had left over from ballasting. A couple of drops of glue on here just kind of starts to use that napkin to suck some of that glue in, and this will help some of the subsequent scenery layers give them a place to attach. The work up until now was just to create a rudimentary form, some basic place to bed in subsequent scenery layers. I grabbed my other glue bottle. This one is a mix of that cheap white school glue cut with a bit of tan craft paint. Not in a rush to reduce the adhesive value of the glue, but I also want to take an opportunity to start to cast some color onto the basic scene. It occurs to me as I work with this, I tend to like this lighter tan, sandier undercoat. But if I were working in a more saturated scene, there's probably no reason why this couldn't be an olive or something heading into that green spectrum. As the glue starts to spread around on the napkins start to soak up that moisture, and that breaks down their very basic structure. They become a little bit fragile and very pliable. Not a lot of force here, kind of starts to guide the napkin into place and also starts to seal it in. My goal here is now starting to become laying down enough adhesive to start placing down some foliage on top. There's just something about this jute twine, its color, its form. It's just one of those materials that makes me want to make something with it. I'll quickly pull off a couple of feet of it, dice it up using a set of scissors into some 6, 7, 8 millimeter lengths. It's not very precise, just want to get a lot of short sections. Quick trip through the coffee grinder breaks down that jute twine back into raw fibers. You wind up with this cloud of jute fibers. They're all golden, and it just definitely reminds me how much I want to make something with this. Scene's ready to start accepting some of those jute fibers. I'll just start poking them in there a tuft at a time. At this point, we've really got a nice scene established. I have a base coat of scenery down, and I'm starting to get a really strong sense of the form of the layout, which gives me a nice platform to start interacting with, and I'm starting to continue to build this scene up with more detail. Fun taking a little bit of time to work on the layout this morning. Just as much fun to make these little films. This sure is a neat little medium to play with. As always, folks, you take care.